Touch notes. 3.17 PTU. Okay, we strongly recommend you delete your user folder, all that good stuff. Testing focus. Stability and backend testing. Ship positional desync. This is not a normal Wave 1 patch. This is not normal. Okay? Not even close. This is weird to do. This is not normal. Okay? So something bad is going on, and I also think it's March 31st, and for some reason they feel that they need to push out. Dude, if it is to sell ships, if it is to make sure they have their sales cadence done correctly, because their big ship sale event is coming. Isn't Invictus coming soon? Well, they only sell Starfarers. Okay, so the Hull 8 isn't in this. Invictus is in May. Okay, so it's March. The end of March. They have 1 month to get this stabilized and in live to sell their ships for 3.17 before they go to May to do their big Invictus sale. If that's why this is being pushed out early, I'll be pretty upset. Mavel, thank you for your prime, man. I appreciate it. So, known issues. All doorways in Orison can kill players if repeatedly walked through. What? Equipment can disappear when trying to equip and is lost permanently. Yeah, that's been happening for a long time, and that's really annoying. This is like one of those #1 priority bugs for me. Custom Mobiglass casing breaks the Mobiglass functionality. Okay, nobody uses that anyway. The player is unable to place the mining gadget on a mineable rock. Excuse me? What? So, good luck giving feedback on that. Large hangars are missing collision. Okay, so can you not even spawn a Starfarer? Starfarer's boom arm not repairing if destroyed. Okay. When loading in the PU, customizing character, the player may become stuck in a staging state. Oh my god, I hope I can actually see the patch. This is going to be a mess. Turret HUD aiming elements are lagging behind. Wasn't this a major thing that they fixed, is fixing the turrets? Shubin Interstellar Kiosk and New Babbage still using the old shop UI. Okay, whatever. Players cannot buy components directly into ship storage. That will be coming later in the PTU cycle. Wow, that's actually really sick. Okay, cool. Dude, that's awesome. So I know it's a bug, but I didn't know that that was going to be a feature. That's really cool. Players cannot buy components directly. Oh, wait, I just read that. The sell page at Livefire Weapons not update properly. Okay. Any sub-terminals can be accessed by other players while in use by another player. Oh, God. Here, let me spawn your ship. Oh, you're going to get your ship? Let me store your ship. A sub-terminals display successful retriever with designated hangar number. Oh, my God. That'll be so funny. Just constantly claiming other people's ships. Underwater river fog is effect is missing. Okay. Air markers are present when opening the Mobiglass. Okay, making it hard to read. Ships can explode after players exit them. Still? 3 months. More than that. 6 months, because you've been working on the patch forever. 6 months on that one. That's a game-breaking bug. That sucks, man. It's one of those that you just like. You hope to see that down in the bug fixes section, not in the known issues section when you dealt with the last patch. You know what I mean? Players responding with their loadout pre-death and medical gown equipped. The player also leaves no corpse present. Jesus Christ! Holy shit! Player sees an infinite black screen upon death. Wow, dude. New features. Okay, let's get to the good stuff then. That we can't see. None of us can see it. You can't see Maria Pure of Heart because when you die, there's a black screen. But hey. So, implementation of Maria Pure of Heart. This is the hospital in Lorville, right? Space Station Clinics variations. I actually was looking forward to this. I think this will be neat to have them a little bit more unique at the space stations. River Tier 0. I'm glad they put just River, because I think that was definitely them memeing, which is funny. Initial implementation of River Tech. Cool. We'll check that out as best we can. AI. Coffee shop vendor. I think we've talked about this plenty, and I'm glad we found out the reason why it was being made. Now, gameplay. Ship-to-ship refueling. There's a guide on this. If this does end up on YouTube, which it might, I'll put the link to that guide in the description. Implementing the systems that allow player to fly specific ships to refuel other ships and get paid for it. Refueling consists of the fuel giver and the fuel receiver. To start the process, the refuel giver Starfarer must deploy the fueling arm using the refueling terminal on the bridge. Oh, okay, only on the bridge. This allows the fuel receiver, any ship, to request docking by targeting. So this is docking. I'm glad they reused docking. That's awesome. This sends a docking request message to the refueling ship that they can request or deny. Once accepted, docking can be done manually by following the on-screen UI by holding N. After the fuel receiver is docked to the fuel giver, they must use the refueling terminal to define a refuel price. Dock ship can then use their mobiGlass to open the vehicle maintenance services. Oh my god, this is detailed. App to view the set price and request the amount of hydrogen or quantum fuel they desire. Once they accept the price, the fuel giver can open the pod management screen and adjust the flow in or out of the fuel pods that contain the desired fuel type. They can start sending fuel by opening the nozzle and adjusting the flow rate, while making sure not to extend past the nominal flow rate for too long. Players will receive a warning error when their flow rate is too high, which can escalate to a danger warning. This is basically mining, is what it looks like. All right, shopping and selling tier 0. Giving players the ability to sell items from their local inventory to shops using a new interface powered by building blocks. This supports a recently added loot generation feature, allowing these items to be sold for money. This includes kiosk and service support for sale of non-commodities. The shop will now dictate which items they buy based on the type of weapons and armor they sell. Pricing algorithm takes into account the state of the item, price of the closest retail equivalent, etc. This update also brings in Yeah, okay, that's cool. We'll have to see it. That's one of the things I really want to check out. Mining gadgets, again, we can't use them, but we could check out their characteristics, right? But I think they're saying what they are here. So there are many differing gadgets that include stats that will positively or negatively modify rock resistance, optimal charge rate, instability, optimal charge window, optimal charge rate again, and shatter damage. All the same things that the lasers do. Uninteresting. Sorry, it's uninteresting. The player can attach a device physically to a mineable deposit in FPS to modify its stats, making mining easier and safer or quicker and riskier. Players can currently buy these in New Babbage, Lorville, and Port Olisar and attach them to their backpacks as an equipped item that can be held in the hands by pressing 4. Okay, so it's all nothing crazy here, but it doesn't work in the current experience, so good luck checking that out. Ship and ship components inventory updates. Major overhaul of the ship personal inventory to allow for ship components to be stored and transported inside ships. Increase the capacity of landing zone storage from 100 SCU to 1000 SCU. Added inventory size value for all purchasable ship items with volume and dimensions, which will require certain size ships to transport larger size components that would normally fit inside smaller ships. Updated all ships to have more internal storage to accommodate this change. Added inventory fillers for components. Okay, this is sneaky. The best change in the game. Mojo says more piracy. Yes, but I'm looking at it in even more long-term and cool way. Long-term reputation is coming. Pirates and players with like negative affinity in a certain location like Crusader or Stanton will not be able to go to Crusader to buy the best stuff. You most likely won't be allowed to land. how are you going to get the best quantum drives? How are you going to get the best shields? How are you going to get the best coolers? Someone's going to have to sell them to you. Now, the only issue here is we don't have a screen to transfer. But then we just got a UI where one player offers and another player accepts. That's got to be the start. That's got to be the start to that, which is really cool. So, yeah, I like that. I actually do. I like that a lot. And then weapons item, add carryable storage container to the shops in the PU. Add a carryable storage container to the shops in the PU. I don't know what that means. Already successfully transferred a weapon, ship weapon between ships. How do you do it? That's actually cool. So yeah, you could do it now then. But the difference is everybody can go everywhere now. But in the future, when you can't, this is like actually logistics gameplay for player and player. It's actually cool. Yeah, how do you do that? This is really good for our org too, because now the org can purchase all the components and just give them to players. That's really big for us, right? Mining weapons, all that. Actually really cool. You could buy a 1/8 SCU box to put things in yourself, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see. Characters. So DNA head textures, we know that. Locations, separated low orbit stations, and landing zones to have their own inventories. Good and bad, but yeah. I just want to live in a space station. I don't want to live in a city. I don't want to live in a space station at all. I just want to live in my ship, but that's me. Oh, interesting. So you blow up your ship, and that leaves the box, and then you sell it. That's how they're doing it now. But in the future, yeah, it would have to be a little bit different than that. So we'll have to see. Gameplay, ground vehicle signature mission changes. This is a big one for Jumptown. I think that'll be really, really great for things like the ballista, for things like the tank, and more specifically, motorcycle gangs. That'll be so super sick. Shield face balance pass converted heavy fighter and larger ships with size 2 shields to have front and back shield faces instead of bubble shields. Interesting. Okay. Ship weapon polish pass increased stagger fire threshold to include weapons up to 750 RPM to allow the option to stagger fire. Okay, not sure what that means, but I'm not sure why that's a notable thing, but I'm sure someone will tell me. Player injury polish pass, we talked a lot about this. We now should get injuries without going down, so that's good. FPS weapon refactor, also talked a lot about that. There's going to be recoil change for rifles, SMGs, shotguns, sniper rifles, and that's a big one. Hunger and Thirst polish pass, I've heard it's way too aggressive, and we'll see. I hope it's not like DayZ. I don't think we want that kind of survival mechanic. I thought what it was in in 316 was good. As long as it carried between sessions, I thought it would have been fine. Because you did have to eat and drink during a play session. But you didn't feel like you were playing Ark, you know? And you didn't feel like you were playing DayZ, and it was like this major part of the game. We're constantly eating. The first thing I'm going to do in game is bind my ATC landing and takeoff button. Holy crap, I'm super excited for that. Core Tech, GPU particle performance pass. That's always good. More performance, the better. Converted GN Scout and Apoa Nox thruster particles to render through GPU instead of CPU. Here we go. Let's get going. I don't think I'll go through the bug fixes because there's enough bugs to deal with that. I don't even think we're going to notice any bug fixes, right? So that's pretty cool. So, yeah, interesting. Now I'm going to jump in and play the patch on stream, but these are the 3.17 patch notes for PTU Wave 1. I don't know what's going on here, but I'll say this. Star Citizen is 6 years late. Answer the Call 2016. Leaving the patch and getting it stabilized in Evocati before Wave 1 so you can actually provide feedback on features, which is what we're here for. I don't think we're here to stabilize your game. I don't think we're here necessarily to fix bugs, right? I think they're aware of a lot of the bugs through the Evocati cycle. I don't think going to a Wave 1 is going to change much of that, to be honest. I really don't. I think once you get to Wave 1, it's about feedback. It's about how it plays. Is it fun? You can't provide feedback if a patch is completely unstable. And the items that you need to provide feedback on don't work. This is silly. This is silly. And if it was to sell ships, to make sure you get that ship sale in April, or even worse, if it was to say that the patch wasn't late, guys, we don't care. I don't care, at least. I don't want to speak for anyone else. I just want a decent experience, right? I thought the 315 to 316 thing worked really well. Paying attention to the player experience and making sure that was good was awesome. Pushing things out quick for reasons outside of the player experience being good. It's 2022, guys. 2012 we started this project. We need to start caring about the player experience. I know it's still Wave 1 PTU. I know it's still PTU, but what the heck? This ain't okay. We gotta be better here, dude. We gotta be better.